What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Fact. Today I'm going to talk about some new inspired versions from the brand Perfume Depot. So this one is going to be really interesting because this is something that nobody has created an inspired version of this one, and that is Molecule 01. Okay, now Molecule 01 is not really a perfume, it's just a molecule. It smells aquatic, a little bit salty accords, something like ambrox and some soft woods. It mainly helps the fragrance to project better. Okay, now Molecule 01 from Essentric is something that I heard the first time from Jeremy Fragrance. I think most of you guys would have heard it from him. And you can overspray it, it still would not smell like anything, but it does smell very natural, something aquatic, something soft woody, something musky. So this is exactly the same, guys. I've smelled the original when I traveled to Kazakhstan very recently in the airport, in the duty-free section. So I do remember the smell. They had Molecule 1, 2, 3, 4 and all of that. Now all of these fragrances, they don't really have a scent profile of its own. You cannot really say it's a rose fragrance. You cannot really say it's a vanilla type of fragrance. You cannot really say it's a citrus fragrance. It's just like the name, it's a molecule. So it is best suited for layering. You can use any fresh fragrance and then top it up with a Molecule 1 or 2, 3, whichever you have. Now this is an inspired version of Molecule 01 from Essentric, and this smells exactly like that. When I say exactly, I wouldn't say it's about 100% close, but it is definitely around 85% similar. The quality obviously might be better in the original because I did not have the option to do side by side, but I do remember the scent profile was very similar to this one, 85%. Okay, now be very cautious if you are planning to get this one, because you're not going to get any smell out of this. That's how the original also smells. Okay, because there's no scent profile in it. It is just a molecule. It smells airy, it smells like ambrox and a bit aquatic, a bit salty, a bit woody. So all of these characters put together, it's very airy in nature. It's almost like no perfume, but it helps such fresh aquatic citrus fragrance to project better. Now surprisingly, this kind of fragrance can project even in this 5th and 6th hour, but it's just that you would not sense its smell. I don't sense the smell even after 30 minutes. Okay, but when I did the actual way of testing by closing handkerchief and putting it back in the cupboard and smelling it every 2 hours, I could still smell that. So even when I smell it, I can smell it for first few seconds, like say 10 to 15 seconds, and then I go immediately nose blind. So that's what this kind of molecules do to human nose. So you have to be very, very mindful when you get this one. If you don't understand these facts about Molecule 01, just don't get it, guys, because this is a little expensive. I think, I mean, obviously if you compare it with the original, which costs around 10,000-11,000, I remember, in the duty-free market, this is just 1/10 of the price. So in case you're curious to understand what kind of fragrance Essentric Molecule is, this is definitely a great choice, guys. 85% similar. Not that is a beast mode. Okay, that is also airy in character. It almost did not have any smell. This is also the same, and I got around 5 to 6 hours with this one, which I could sense personally. But like I said, this kind of, and I tested it within 4 days of receiving it. I generally suggest all Perfume Depot spray versions to be macerated at least 1 month. So I'm sure this can get better over the time, but getting better over the time doesn't mean that this is going to smell more evident, because this is still Molecule 01. So you may not sense the smell, but you can definitely use this kind of fragrance for most of the summer blends as a layering perfume. It helps all or majority of the fresh citrus, aquatic, soft woody fragrance, musky fragrance to project better. Okay, you can use it for that. Or if you are in a particular mood that you do not want to smell like a fragrance, but you just want to smell fresh, this is it. You just go with this one, Molecule 01. Costs around 850 or 950, I'm not very sure. It's somewhere around that, I remember, or probably just 750, I'm not sure. Because they have a lot of these new releases which is priced around 750 to 950, somewhere around that, and very few are 1050 and 1100. So another one is Baldy Afrique. Now this is my second bottle. If you remember long back, I praised this a lot, guys, a lot. And the formulation that time was a little different. They made their own twist with the original Baldy Afrique's formulation. Okay. Now here, this is more close to the original. Now why I am saying that is because again, when I traveled to Kazakhstan, I smelled the original Bayredo Baldy Afrique. And when I tried this one recently, this smelled almost like 80% similar to the original. Okay. Within 10 minutes, not in the opening, but within 10 minutes. Again, I tested it within 4-5 days of receiving it. Generally, I don't recommend that. You should at least keep it for 1 month. That's a good time for maceration. 3 months is the best time if you have that patience, but 1 month is the minimum that I would suggest. I tested it in 5 days. It smells the same, but the performance can definitely get better in 1 month. So Baldy Afrique, like I said, is 80% similar to the original right now compared to the previous formulation, though the previous formulation but was very unique. It was niche. The base was very strong in the previous formulation and it smelled much better in my opinion because it smelled too niche for my taste, and that's why I praised it a lot. But because I have recently tried the original, I think this is more close to the original. It's about 80% similar within 10 minutes of spraying it. Starts off with a beautiful bergamot, blackcurrant and marigold, and then as and when it dries down, you get vanilla, amber, vetiver, musk and cedarwood. That vanilla and amber is what is more thicker and richer in the previous formulation, but here it is quite nicely balanced. The dry down is just beautiful, guys. Even in the original, the first 10 minutes, the top notes are not very impressive, but after 30 minutes, it's just wow. It is very smooth, creamy. That amber and vanilla combination with cedarwood, touch of vetiver is absolutely gorgeous. But it's just that it is very expensive. I think 12,000-13,000. Definitely expensive. So I wouldn't suggest a blind buy. So in case you want to understand how beautiful fragrances smell like, you definitely go with the inspired version. And this is one of the best that I've tried till date. Baldy Afrique by Perfume Depot. Performance is pretty good here. 2 hours of projection, 7 to 8 hours of lasting is what I got with this one. Now there are a few samples that I've tested. One of them was very, very impressive. I'll tell you what, it's an inspired version of Nishane Sultan vetiver, which again, none of them have done that. And I've compared it with the original. It is about 80% similar, minus the quality. Okay, 80% similar to the scent profile, minus the quality. Because this one, for a 50 ml cost around 8,500 if I remember. This for a 50, this is a sample oil version, but if you want to go with 50 ml spray version, then it would cost you around 970. Okay, for that price, it's definitely worth, because I did not expect this to be 80% similar, guys. Because Sultan vetiver from Nishane is not an easy thing to do. This is about 80% similar, minus the quality that you get in Nishane, minus the transition of 3 different vetivers that you get in Nishane. Here you get all that vetiver feel at one go within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, but otherwise I was very impressed that it definitely reminds you of Sultan vetiver. It's about 80% close. I wouldn't say 85 as well. It's about 80% close. There's a good touch of that floral what you get. There's a good touch of that vetiver. I can sense 2 different vetivers here, but it doesn't transition. It's all put together there. That's the difference between this clone and the original Nishane. Performance was actually good. 2.5 hours of projection, 7 to 8 hours of lasting, even with that one. I'm not going to get the 50 ml perfume of that. I'm just reviewing for you guys in case you're interested. If you do not have the original, you definitely can try that one if you're looking for a good, decent performing 80% similar inspired version. Okay, now the next one, this is something that I would highly recommend. Inspired version of Most Wanted. Okay, I have Azaro Wanted by Night. Most Wanted is a little similar to that, a little more darker, but here it's not that dark, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Very, very appealing, guys. I might get the spray version of this one soon because this one really impressed me. Okay, really impressed me. It's about 85% similar to the original, but it does not have the dark character, but it's definitely fruity. It has that nice touch of orange, fruity accords, appealing florals, not to make it too feminine, and then the base has a nice touch of woody accords. Beautiful fragrance, and this is not expensive. I think it's just around 600 if I remember. For that price, for 50 ml, absolutely worth. Okay, absolutely worth. It is very, very appealing to the nose, and it smells fantastic. The performance is also decent. 2 hours of projection, 6 to 7 hours of lasting is what I got with that one. The one is Musk Therapy. I'm not sure which inspired version it is, but if you like musk fragrances, definitely check this one out. It starts off with nice florals and vanilla and then musk. Okay, it's a floral vanilla type of musk, and then it's very smooth. It's a bit powdery, it's a bit buttery as well. Definitely a good choice for those who like musky fragrances. Musk Therapy. Okay, pricing is something which you will have to check with the seller directly. I don't really remember. Performance, 2 hours of projection, 7 hours of lasting. The last one, this also is gorgeous. Pacific Chill, which is a Louis Vuitton inspiration. Okay, a very good option for the summers, I would say. Starts off with a beautiful, lovely lemon and mint accord with some blackcurrant. That lemon and mint combination is definitely gorgeous. It has a touch of rose and then apricot, fig, and in the late dry down you get a nice dose of peony. Now peony is something which you would also get in Zeleny. Okay, now that note you would also sense it here in the dry down, which is after 1 hour. Okay, but overall scent profile, gorgeous guys. If you're looking for a very appealing citrus fragrance, Pacific Chill inspired version of Louis Vuitton from Perfume Depot, definitely a great choice. 2 hours of projection, 6 to 7 hours of lasting. Costs around, I think 800 or 850, I don't remember, but I would still say that it's worth that price, provided you can compromise on the design of the bottle. Okay, now for those who do not know, the cap has this snug fit which has to be fixed crosswise, but it is very, very strong once it is fixed. But when you open it, you have to open it crosswise. That's the way it is designed. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in case you've tried this. Comment down in the comment section. See you next time soon. Keep sharing the videos. Cheers.